Crazy comebacks in the NBA, like the time one team came back from a 36-point deficit. Or the time one comeback rewrote the NBA record books. These are 10 of the craziest comebacks in NBA history. And first, we got Russell Westbrook making Drake regret ever opening his mouth. See, it all started with the Lakers down 3 with 25 seconds to go. And Drake started chirping in Brody's ear like he was at a stage rehearsal. Now, at first, it looked like he got in Westbrook's head.
Russ to tie the game, hit the side of the board.
That brick has Bron ready to trade his ass right there. Now, the Lakers were down 3 with only 12 seconds to play, and everyone expected Toronto to pass the ball in and shoot some free throws to send LA packing. But Westbrook couldn't go out looking silly, so he did the unthinkable.
It's Russ! Russ to tie the game! He's got it! Russ has got it! We're tied!
Damn, Brody made up for the ugliest game-winning shot ever and told Drake to shut his mouth like they had rap beef. And in OT, LeBron and Westbrook finished the deal with a dub. That was wild. But at number 9, we got one of the sneakiest comebacks in NBA history, brought to you by the pettiest player in NBA history, Chris Paul. Look, OKC was down 2 points with less than 2 seconds when Karl Anthony Towns went to the line to call game. It looked over, unless Cat choked. But instead of hoping for a miracle, CP3 got creative, because he had a trick up his sleeve. See, in the NBA, jerseys must be tucked in at all times. And earlier in the game, the refs already gave Jordan Bell a warning about his wardrobe. So Chris Paul decided to snitch like your little brother.
But you want him to make this free throw. Well, Minnesota just got dinged for a delay of game.
Yeah, he forced the refs to call a technical foul. Now Danilo Gallinari went to the free throw line to make things interesting.
That free throw is good.
But there was only a second left, and Karl still had a free throw to go up too. After he sunk it, Thunder launched a play that left everyone stunned.
Adams launches it to shooter catches, and scores! To tie it at 122! As the inexplicable continued.
In OT, the Thunder sealed the deal. Proving being petty is sometimes powerful. But at number 8, Luka and the Dallas Mavericks pulled off a comeback so insane, it rewrote the NBA record books. Look, Doncic was going off with a 40-point triple-double, but the Mavs looked like they were going home with an L. And another 40-point triple-double on Luka's resume wouldn't have meant a damn thing to him in a loss. So he went nuclear. See, the Mavs clawed back, hitting clutch shots to keep hope alive. And still down 7, Luka had to go for 50.
Luka with the rebound, puts it up and it's a foul. With 15 seconds, he's got a chance for his 50th point of the game.
Now, the Mavs had some life, but Luka got to the free throw line again. And with the Mavs down 3, he pulled off magic.
And that Drew rim, it's still loose. Luka got it back.
Damn, Luka was out there as excited as a kid during recess. Now, the Mavs couldn't make one of the most insane comebacks ever just to take a loss. So in overtime, Luka sealed the deal by becoming the first player ever to drop a 60-point triple-double. Yeah, Luka pulled a rabbit out of a hat. But at number 7, Tracy McGrady took last-second comebacks to the max. See, T-Mac had one of the most insane 35-second takeovers of all time. Because in 2007, the Rockets were down 8 to the Spurs, and fans were already heading for the exits. But T-Mac wasn't about to go quietly, because he came down and hit a light three-pointer.
Here's McGrady for 3.
And right after, the Spurs put the lead back to 7, so Tracy had to go for 4 points.
Continues to hit at the line. And the Spurs now lead by 7. Tracy McGrady with an incredible performance down the stretch.
Yeah, 13 points in 35 seconds turned Tracy into a legend. But at number 6, the Timberwolves took the stakes higher, because Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves made NBA history while talking mad trash. See, in the 2024 playoffs, the Timberwolves faced Nikola Jokic and the defending NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets. And through the first 5 games, Denver looked like they had an easy path back to the finals, because the Timberwolves were getting smacked.
The Nuggets go up 3 games to 2 and are 1 game away from the Western Conference Finals. 1 win away for Denver.
But for the Timberwolves to pull off the comeback, they would have to win 1 more game before going back to Denver. So after game 5, Edwards let Denver know that this wouldn't be his last dance.
Did you really tell the locker room staffer in Denver you were going to be back?
Hell yeah.
They know I was in there. Yeah, I told them. I said, I'll see y'all motherfuckers for Game 7. Yeah.
See, the Nuggets took a 3-2 lead, but in Game 6, the Timberwolves had enough.
The journey here doesn't matter. All that matters is we're here. And so is Anthony Edwards. 27 now tonight. They played the whole possession. Shot clock turned off. Minnesota can dribble it out. Crowd rises to its feet.
Yeah, the Timberwolves got their mojo back, and this was set up to be the contest of the year, but the defending champs left the Timberwolves humbled. See, by halftime, Denver went up 20 points, and not one single team in NBA history came back from a deficit that high in a Game 7. And even worse, Anthony Edwards was playing like hot garbage. All hope looked lost, but the Wolves never stopped and sculpted a comeback that was a masterpiece.
Oh, there's a steal by Edwards. Here he comes, and there he goes. And in the feed, it goes from Edwards to Conley. Shot clock at 1. Conley the fake. He'll foul. Got it. And he's there. Backpedals, jabs, shot. Slammed in. That's it. The Timberwolves have knocked out the defending champion Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, Ant chirped his way into completing the first 20-point comeback in Game 7 history. And after the game, Ant had a quote that broke the internet.
I have not been to Minnesota in probably 20 years. Bring your ass.
One comeback turned Ant into an icon, but this next one is as emotional as it gets. See, in the 2019 playoffs, the Clips pulled off the largest comeback in playoff history. But imagine doing it against the greatest dynasty ever. I'm talking about the 2019 Golden State Warriors with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant. Yeah, those guys. And not only were they fresh off back-to-back championships, they were the undisputed favorites rolling into the playoffs as the #1 seed in the West. Meanwhile, the Clippers, they barely squeaked in as the 8th seed, so everyone thought this was gonna be a clean sweep. And after Game 1, the Warriors made LA look like a middle school team, but by Game 2, things got even uglier. Cause the Warriors did what they did best, splash threes like they were shooting into the bay until they had a 94-63 lead. Now, being down 31 points against the greatest team assembled, most teams would call it quits, but Lou started cooking like a microwave, while Montrez dominated the paint like it was his living room.
Williams for 3. Gilgeous-Alexander gets it to Harrell, and he puts it down.
And on the other end, Patrick Beverley, all 6 feet of him, was out there annoying Kevin Durant like a fly at a barbecue. See, KD got so frustrated, he hit the showers early.
And a foul is called on the Warriors. It is on Durant, number 6 on Kevin Durant.
And in the final minutes of the game, a rookie came in and delivered the final blow.
An open shot.
The Clippers took a 135-131 lead and sealed the greatest playoff comeback to ever happen. Now, that game showed that grit and heart could shake even the most dominant teams. But first, we gotta talk about the sponsor of this video. I'm talking about the #1 VPN in the world, ExpressVPN. See, I've been able to watch things on Netflix, Hulu, and Disney+, things that I never knew existed. Look, depending on which country you're in, streaming services only give you access to a limited number of their movies and shows that haven't been censored. But ExpressVPN allowed me to change my IP address to any of the 105 countries. And next thing you know, I unlocked thousands of more titles at a cheaper price. And if you don't want people looking at your browser, like my late night searches, ExpressVPN encrypts and reroutes all your internet traffic, blocking out all the creeps. But that's not even all that ExpressVPN can do, because their encrypted network stops every hacker on the planet. Now, if you're on an unencrypted Wi-Fi network like an airport or a local coffee shop, hackers are looking at you like a sitting duck to get access to your email, passwords, and even your credit cards. And if you want the same security, head over to expressvpn.com and use code DIME for 61% off, or hit the description to get 4 months of free security. But anyways, we still gotta talk about number 4, the time Derrick Rose made the biggest comeback ever. See, he went from being the league's next big thing to battling heartbreak after heartbreak. But throughout all the pain, one game cemented his legacy as one of the most electrifying talents the game has ever seen. Let's go back to 2011, when the 21-year-old was the most electric player in the league, and he proved it by becoming the youngest to win the NBA MVP award. I mean, Rose was ready to become the face of the league, but in the 2012 playoffs, one step sent Rose's career down a spiral.
Rose came down bad on his left foot. See him holding onto his knee and down.
Now, his ACL kept him out for a season, and everyone was ready for the comeback. But just 1 month into the 2013-2014 year, Rose suffered another nightmare.
Now watch right there, he kind of planted.
The news of Rose tearing his meniscus was devastating, but Rose kept fighting and even returned for the 2014 season. And he came back for one of the most iconic plays of his career.
Looking, finds Rose. Rose trying to get open, fires away. Bang! It's over! The Bulls win at the buzzer!
Now, Rose was looking like he beat all the odds and became his old self once again. But the next season, he suffered his darkest moment yet.
Derek lost the handle on it, dives for it, and it's out of bounds.
At this point, everyone was losing hope in Rose. Look, even his hometown team, whose franchise he completely changed around, left him disrespected.
What's up, E? You lying.
Rose was in the darkest hole of his life. See, he was traded to the Knicks, and while flashes of his old explosiveness remained, Rose was only a shell of his former self. But he was still explosive enough to match up with LeBron James in 2018. But Rose's injury patterns kept repeating.
Derrick Rose usually took a shot there from Monroe.
Now, Rose couldn't stay away from his injuries, so he reconsidered everything. I mean, he was on the brink of retirement, so he got traded again. And even though Rose could have walked away with millions, he loved the game. But one game reminded everyone that Rose was simply one of the greatest to ever do it.
Rose attacks, challenges Gobert, and Gobert couldn't get there in time. Rose. Derrick Rose. 50. A half a century for Derrick Rose here tonight.
Dude dropped 50 and showed why he was an NBA idol.
What does it mean to you, Derrick?
Man, everything, man. I work my ass off, bro. I wouldn't have did this for the franchise, the organization, the fans, everybody, man. I wouldn't be able to play the way I play, man.
Through tears, Rose proved that no matter the setbacks, his legacy was unshakable. But imagine coming back from 3-1 twice. See, in the 2020 NBA playoffs, overcoming a 3-1 deficit wasn't just a challenge for the Denver Nuggets. It was their specialty, because Denver faced the Utah Jazz when it looked like they were down for the count. I mean, even when Jamal Murray made history and matched Donovan Mitchell for 50 points, each for the first time ever in the playoffs, it still wasn't enough.
47, he'll pull the three. He's got the three. 50-point game, first time in history. Opponents score 50 apiece.
See, Utah was up 3-1 and had the series on lockdown. So the Nuggets survived Game 5. But if they wanted to make it to Game 7, it would take nothing short of a miracle. So Jamal Murray stepped up and delivered another 50-point bomb.
Gets a screen. A three-pointer is up and in for Jamal. Patient. Now he's got Gobert on him. Step back three on the way is good. Jokic finding Murray. Murray, does he got another one in? Oh, you bet he does! And that might be the dagger!
And in the next matchup, the momentum shifted hard. Now, it's all came down to Game 7, and it would be the toughest game yet. See, they were neck and neck until the final possession. And with the game on the line, Mike Conley's shot came as close as possible.
Mitchell hanging at the other end. 2 seconds to go for the win! And it rims out! Denver hangs on!
Denver pulled off the unthinkable, and suddenly, the comeback kids were ready for their next challenge, the Los Angeles Clippers. And this team wasn't just good, they were the NBA's new super team with Lou Williams, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard. Now, through the first 4 games, the Clippers flexed their dominance, leaving Denver on the brink again. See, in Game 5, in the third quarter, Denver trailed by 15 points, and with their backs against the wall, they fought for their lives.
3 off. Rebound, that's it.
Denver was flatlined, and the next game, they were in the same position. And this time, a 19-point deficit looked like the nail in the coffin. But another huge run left the Clippers wondering what the hell happened. Now, this was looking like a straight fluke, but in Game 7, Denver pulled off the impossible, because they went down 12 in the second quarter again. But they locked in and delivered one of the best defensive performances in Game 7 history, holding the Clippers to a laughable 33% shooting. The defense was so suffocating, Paul George threw up the most embarrassing shot of his career.
George, way off. It's the side of the backboard.
And just like that, the Nuggets became the first team in NBA history to come back from 2 separate 3-1 deficits in a single postseason. I don't think we'll ever see that again. But speaking of impossible comebacks, we still need to talk about the largest one ever. The Utah Jazz's 36-point comeback against the Denver Nuggets in 1996 wasn't just a rally, it was basketball history. See, the Jazz trailed by 70-34 in the second quarter. At that point, fans probably thought Space Jam's Monsters had taken over Denver.
Dick Motta and his team up 70-36, and we have, folks, a smattering of boos by the crowd as the Utah Jazz walk off the court. The Nuggets do the same thing with a lead of 34 points at the half, the biggest lead, 36 in this ball game. 7 of 9 for Dale. McDyess, 5 out of 7. Bryant Stith, 5 out of 7. Hammonds misses 1. Johnson and McGinnis don't miss any shots in that first half.
But the Jazz weren't going out like that. Led by Karl Malone and Jeff Hornacek, Utah stormed back with relentless defense and perfectly executed offense. Because by the third quarter, they had sliced the deficit in half. By the fourth, it was all about heart, and they had plenty